Hi, I'm Andrew Marlowe, artist. Welcome back to the Art Channel. It's definitely been a minute, but it's great to be back. So let's get this video started. Today we're going to be discussing briefly a couple of my new recent artistic endeavors. We have a drawing that we're going to be featuring, as well as a new painting. You guys may have seen some of these on my social media, so let's get straight into it. Let's roll that intro. So what's up, everybody? Like I said, it's great to be back. I hope you guys are doing as well as I am. I just started school, so I've been super busy with school and work and just working on all my art projects, drawings and paintings, and working in the sketchbook a little bit. Definitely need to spend more time in the sketchbook just to kind of stay loose and stay, just productive overall. If you're not working in a sketchbook and you're trying to be an artist, that's definitely a problem. Let me just adjust this light. So let's get this, before I start rambling, let's get this video officially started. So we're going to be starting with this graphite pencil drawing. It actually has a little bit of oil paint as well. This art production is called Renaissance Woman. And it's actually inspired by Christina Ricci from the movie Sleepy Hollow. But I wanted to just take the reference photo, much further. I wanted to make my own version of it. So this is what we're left with, and I really, really like this. I think as far as recent art productions, it's definitely one of my best drawings. So let's talk a little bit about it. Blech. A little bit about the technique, a little bit about the intention. What was my artistic intention? How well planned was it? Did I succeed in my journey in this portrait? And I definitely believe I did. It's a strong, striking portrait. It has emotion, and it just looks like a Renaissance woman. She looks like she's kind of, maybe in some kind of family strife or political strife, or maybe she's being forced into a marriage like they used to do back then. Who knows? Or maybe she's a queen and she's deep in contemplation and she's, very happy about something. Who knows? But she sort of has this little allure of maybe, I don't know, concern, or just maybe she's been sort of, abruptly interrupted, or maybe she's definitely thinking about something, as you can see from the drawing. And I want to draw your attention to the jewelry. She's got this necklace on. I wasn't completely 100% successful with sort of the articulation of trying to portray the jewelry, but I think, it definitely looks like she's wearing a necklace. I sort of made my own design for not only this elaborate collar / dress she has on, but also the jewelry itself. I can't talk tonight for some reason. As well as the hair and as well as the eyes. So, and that's kind of what my art is basically become, is just, it's like my version of the reference, or my version of the model, or my version of whatever I'm seeing in front of me. I don't intend to be one of those hyper-realistic artists that sort of, replicate, pixel by pixel every single part of the photograph or the reference. That just doesn't do anything for me. I think that's horribly uncreative. I'm not saying that it's bad art. I'm not saying they're not talented. They are talented. But for me personally, it just doesn't do anything for me. I like to make my stuff look a little bit weirder, a little bit more, I don't want to say abstract, but just a little bit more, off the cuff, a little bit more individual to me. Now, some people could say, oh, that's a lack of technique. And I do try my best to make my stuff look as realistic as I can and as accurate as I can, but it is a little bit of sort of a combination of my own intention, my own artistic intentions, in conjunction with a lack of technique. I don't have the ability to make photorealistic drawings, but maybe in some ways we're sort of getting there. But anyway, before I start going on a tangent, I want to point your guys' attention to the eyes, where there is some oil paint, and you can see the little light spots on the eyes is the oil paint. And I've actually learned that the oil paint does not go over the graphite particularly well. So I went. What you have to do is just not cover the parts of any drawing where you're going to cover it with oil paint or charcoal or something, that's because the graphite makes it real sort of slippery and sort of shiny, and you can't really get a good tone over the graphite. So I kind of just went back and just erased a little bit of what I planned to put the oil paint on. So I think and I've tried this eye technique in several previous drawings, and it didn't really come out as good as it did in this one. So I'm very, very happy with that. I'm also very, very happy with the shading of the face. We've got the dark side and sort of the light side. I could have maybe went a little bit darker with some of the values, maybe a little bit lighter with some of the other values, but I think overall all the values are there. The nose looks pretty good. I didn't like make any real hard edges, which is a big accomplishment for me. And it's, you know, the eyebrows are perfectly in place. I think, you know, sort of the inner design of the eyes is not 100%. The pupils are a little bit awkward looking if you really, really look at it. But overall, I mean, it looks like a nice drawing that could hang up in, you know, in somebody's room or in a museum or in a gallery or in a private collection. And you really have to, and also this part of the hair, the wide, how can I hold this properly here? The wideness of her hair was not part of the initial reference photo. She had much more of a tight bun, but I thought it would look more Renaissance, more medieval-ish, you know, how would you say? Yeah, Renaissance, medieval-ish, to just sort of have like this big bulging bun that sort of comes out, and it just really hits home that this is like a Renaissance medieval woman. And I think the lips is slightly awkward because this side here, yeah, is a little bit shorter than this one, but overall it's not that big of a deal. So that's kind of what we're doing on this channel lately, is sort of critiquing my drawings, and I like that format. We're going to get into some other topics, you know, some other art related topics obviously real soon. But I do like the format of just kind of, I actually forgot to spray this with the little protective spray. I better do that soon. But this is like almost like cardboard index paper, like index card paper. It's amazing paper. The graphite just goes on perfectly smooth. You don't have to worry about bends, or you still have to worry about smudging and stuff. That's always an issue. But you don't have to worry about the paper wrinkling when you try to erase it, or any, you know, getting weird bends. But when you're working on a large drawing like this, it's super important just to take care of your paper. So don't, you know, make sure you're putting a piece of paper under your drawing hand so you're not smudging the whole time. But I got some compliments on the design of the collar there, and I think that's extremely, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Extremely sort of fresh for something that I've done. I don't usually spend as much time on any drawing or anything as I did on this. And I've slowly been integrating more and more, spending more and more time on my art productions, because it really, you know, really goes a long way when you're able to do that. So yeah, there's not really much else I really want to say about this other than it is for sale. If you guys want to buy it, just let me know. It is for sale. I think it would look really nice in somebody's home or at an art gallery or something. If you guys have any feedback on this drawing, please let me know in the comment section. So let's move on to the painting. Okay, so this is the new painting. It's very large, and it's actually not easy to film because it's 24 by 30 inches. This one's also for sale. If you guys are interested, just let me know in the comment section or send me a message. This one is called Dominatrix. I hope, you know, this video doesn't get demonetized, but it probably will because of the nature of the painting. But I want to show it to you guys because it's such a large painting, and the painting really, it definitely pushed me in a lot of different areas. For example, let's just start with the face. Now, I think the face is slightly awkward, maybe not the best. You know, it's definitely one of the focal points of the painting, but some of the colors are a little bit sketchy, perhaps not quite in unison. But I think overall I did a nice job with the eyes and the color of the lips. You know, I like the way that her hair is kind of cascading across the, you know, across her shoulders there. We'll zoom a little bit more into the, you know, but I think some of the makeup that she had on, and maybe in the reference photo or whatever, just didn't translate well into the actual painting. But for the most part, it looks good. I've gotten good responses on the expression of her eyes, and just sort of the maybe domineering perhaps, or just sort of maybe even affectionate sort of appearance that she has. And I like the sort of the way that it recedes into the darkness there, but then her hair, the strands of hair sort of get a little bit lighter there, and you can tell there's like a shadow under her neck. But this part is a little bit too flat, you know, maybe it just looks a little bit, maybe too, I don't know, modern art-esque or something, I don't know exactly, but I like, let's zoom out a little bit more into this. I really like the details of the veins here that I produced on the, on her breast. That's something I've never actually tried before, but actually worked out really well. And I like the shadow underneath this, you know, part of her chest, and I think the hands was one of my better hand paintings, you know, still not anatomically correct perhaps at all. But I actually started this entire painting with just a rough sketch, and then we actually did an underpainting known as a dead color layer, and it actually still shines through. It was like a lightish green blue. If you want to make your portraits look more like human-esque, I definitely recommend that. You can see the dead color layer coming through right all in this area, and it's actually, the dead color layer is actually shining through much more than it actually was even a few weeks ago. So sometimes the paint sort of just has to kind of, you know, it starts to really glow from within if, you know, if you just put in the proper time and I mean, I perhaps didn't layer the paint exactly the correct way or whatever. But I do like this area down here, just like the way that the skin looks, and you know, this area is kind of interesting. It was a little bit thorny down there. I think I could have maybe spent a little bit more time down there, but I just like sort of the feminine, soft appearance that she has. Let's talk about the brushwork in the background here. You know, all my recent paintings, I've basically just been taking the brush and basically just going crisscross like this. Like more like crisscross, sort of like that, to form some kind of a texture, as opposed to my older paintings where it was just sort of one solid color layer that wasn't really that interesting. But I think my backgrounds are becoming, you know, slightly, hopefully more interesting. Is there anything else about this painting that we should discuss? You know, I do like I said, the strands of hair. I think that was a nice touch to the painting, sort of the dead color layer right there showing through. And you can sort of see how I was inspired by the human anatomy to sort of make the arm bone sort of look like an arm bone there. And maybe the anatomy's, you know, obviously not 100% spot on, but looks like she's got hands at least, you know, so that's, you know, there's that. You know, I haven't really been that great at painting hands, but I think with this painting, I definitely, you know, made some leaps and bounds. I think this stomach region, like the lower torso, definitely could have been shaded up a little bit. And you can actually see through where I originally had the belly button too high, so we had to move it. So this painting was definitely a little bit of an experiment just to kind of see how large I could paint. And I can't really back up quite enough against this wall here to really show you the full. I'd have to switch the angle of the easel. I don't feel like doing that right now. But anyway, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comment section. Let me know, did you like the drawing? Did you like the painting? Which one did you like better and why? And let me know if you guys have any other art related questions, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you guys hit me up on my social media, Andrew Marlowe Artist on Instagram. And please feel free to email me at andrewmarlowe22@gmail.com if you have any questions about painting or art, or even commissions for that matter. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.